Want to learn how to do any times table in 1 minute or less? Then click on the link below and master any times table you want. Now on to the video. Here's a quick little video showing my painting process from my most recent piece. So starting with the pupil first, I always paint that first. Then I also put in the highlight of the eye to get the positioning right. And then after that, I follow up with the coloring of the iris, making sure I get all the details and the different shades of color in, followed by the outline of the iris. And then I put in the lashes and the upper lid and the lower lid of the eye, as well as the tear duct. After which I colour in the sclera, or the white part, along with all the shadings. I'm always making continuous reference with the actual photo reference at the same time. And the grid really helps with the positioning. Even though it's really faint, it's really helpful. But yeah, so I focus on the eyes first. I put that on one layer, so they're on the same layer. And I try and get them as realistic as possible. And as much as I try to speed this process up, it just ends up taking its time. Then I follow up with the nostrils, just to get the positioning and the placing, after which I do the colour blocking for the whole skin. And then I paint in the eyebrows on another layer, after which I go back to colouring each eye on another layer, on a separate layer. So I do all the shadings, the details of each eye, so the fold and the skin around the eye as well. And usually after this, I go on to focusing on the nose. So I put in the highlight to get the positioning first. It's important to get the positioning of the highlights. It really helps in bringing out the 3D effect, and as well as the shading underneath the nose. So I paint the rest of the nose. It does take time. It looks quick on the time lapse, but it does take quite a bit of time to get all the different nuances, the color correct. And then I go on to the lips. I color block the lips in, putting in the line in the middle, and I put in the highlight, and then I put in the shading, the shade of the lips, as well as the highlights and the intricacies and the details of the wrinkles on the lips. after that, I'm going to continue with some of the shading and fill in the rest of the ear, putting in some of the details of the ear that's visible. And here we can see that I've gone on to shading in the neck, so it's not a complete black, it's just a different shade of the skin tone. And blending, as I mentioned before, I put in the creases as well as the neck to show that the head's turning, and it's really important that you're blending at the same time as well. I really do find putting in the highlights in a separate layer really helpful, as it helps to position everything around it. And after that, just paint the dress. It's a really simple outfit with a minor shade, a minor highlight, and just a few creases. And then, probably one of my favorite parts, it does take a while though, is the hair. I'm using a different technique here. I've used the color block as the background color first, and then on another layer I do the details and the different shades of blonde, and there is some that grey that you can see as well, yellow, oranges, so many different colors that are being utilized here. But I use a different base layer with the base color, so this is a new technique I'm trying, and I blend that together, and then on another layer on top of that I use a hairbrush, a fine hairbrush in Procreate for the details of the hair, and the highlights I'm also using on that same second layer. And then here I'm just putting in some final shade on the eyes, just to give it a bit more depth. And here I'm trying different backgrounds to see which one goes well, and then you'll be able to see once I've done that, I've done different backgrounds, as you get a different effect with each piece. So this background I've used before on one of my other pieces, and I really like this background. It's got that glimmery effect. And also the simple black and white photo against a white background, you can never go wrong with. And I always try and use complementary colours as well, depending on what the person is wearing. And I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and share it with anyone you think this may benefit. And subscribe for more like this, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.